Hello everyone, and welcome to another podcast where we explore the diverse and inspiring stories of individuals who do more. They usually strive to ultimately live a life without boundaries. And today's episode is a delightful blend of passion, determination, and a thirst for adventure. Our guest today is a true embodiment of versatility. She's not just a fitness influencer motivating thousands to lead a healthier lifestyle, but also a savvy media boss lady, the marketing business owner who understands the art of storytelling in a digital age. And if that's not impressive enough, she's aspiring to go higher, much, much higher. Dreams of reaching the skies, literally. In the world of fitness, she's a powerhouse sculpting bodies and minds, brand ambassador for multiple fitness brands. She has created a community that goes beyond just workouts, emphasizing the holistic journey to wellness. But her story doesn't stop there. As a media and marketing guru, she mastered the art of capturing attention in a crowded digital landscape, steering her business to success. Today, we will delve into the life of this incredible individual. We'll explore her journey in fitness, uncover the secrets of the fitness industry, and learn more about the marketing world. Ladies and gentlemen, Luara Danielz. Luara, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. You are my first female guest, so thank you so much. I've been a fan for over 10 years. I've been following your journey for a long time. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
I'm super honored, and when you read that intro to me, I blush because I don't realize people see me that way, because a person never sees themselves that way. So it's awesome to hear that that's the positive impact that I am giving out, because that's what I strive to do.
Luara, so obviously the fitness part of your journey is the most prominent, and everyone sees that. So let's start there. Take us through. Obviously, you didn't wake up like a 14-year-old girl and get out of bed and looking like this. You obviously worked a lot hard on this, but where did it start for you? Where did the love for fitness start?
So I used to do modeling as a teenager, and it was pageants and things like that. And I didn't really enjoy the way the modeling competitions were. It was very political. It was about who had the most money, the most expensive dress, and who was the prettiest at the time.
And it's also opinion-based.
And opinion-based. So actually I have like a valve in my heart that's a little bit floppy. It's not serious, but I was 14 and I fainted a lot. And the doctor at that time said, the only thing you can do is be fit. So I just made sure I was always running and exercising, because I always had that in the back of my mind. And I've always been super active, like did all the sports at school, just love exercise. And I was actually at a fitness show. I was doing a dance competition at a time, and it was at the same fitness venue. And I saw this girl on stage in the bikini lineup, and I just thought, wow, she is so gorgeous. Like, I just want to look like that. So I went to speak to her backstage, and I asked her about it, and she inspired me. Her name was Michelle van Rooyen. And she's like, you should do this with me, and this is fun. I'm like, okay, cool. And she's like, here's a coach, speak to this lady. And that's just how it started. And
how old were you when you started?
I think I was 20.
20.
Yeah, when I did that. And then I had the worst diet that you could ever think of. It was pineapple and fish every 2 hours.
Oh, we're going to talk about the diet, but that's what you started with. Okay.
And then I had like 3 weeks to prepare. And I had these sores in my mouth, I'll never forget, from the pineapple. But I'm like a person, if you give me something, I will follow it to the T. And I did it. And then, and I did well in that show. And I've only ever done like actually 5 fitness competitions, but people think that's what I did, like just compete. But I'll usually prepare for an entire year for one show. So I don't do repetitive competitions, but I prepare for one show. Yeah, and that's just how it started. And I just found this love for something that you can work for. It was never about how you look, but it was like you can work so hard for something and then you achieve it. So that's what attracted me to it.
The second question I want to ask you actually was, why are you still doing it? I mean, you started off wanted to maybe look like that lady you saw, but it obviously changed to maybe setting yourself a goal and achieving that. Is that actually the goal?
I think it was the goal, and it also filtered into business, because fitness and business is very similar. The way your mindset works, the way you have to structure things. And I don't know, it feels good. Like everything, if I don't gym or exercise in some form of way in a week, I get depressed and I don't feel good.
Grumpy as well.
Grumpy. If I'm having a stressful day, it's very easy to quit and just not go to gym, but the next day you feel worse. So I just know the benefits and all the endorphins and how it makes you feel. And I just shared that, and it's people liked it. I don't even know why. I just felt like sharing it.
Okay. So quickly, just on your training routine now at currently, how does it look? What do you do specifically on a daily basis?
So I've done all the extremes where it was like 7 days a week. For a competition, training is a lot more intense than just your lifestyle training. But at the moment, I just do 5 weight sessions a week. I'll do...
in the mornings?
In the evenings, 5 o'clock. And then...
Why?
Because after end of work day, you need that.
To sort out everything else.
Just because you think and you're busy and your mind's busy, and then during that session, everything clears. And I have a personal trainer that I make sure I have to meet, holds me accountable. My phone's in the locker, and it's just that 1 hour of exercise. So it's 5 weight sessions. Then I have a few friends who run in the mornings or cycle, outdoor cardio. I don't really like cardio in the gym. It's really boring. And then weekends I'll go like a hike or maybe a Sunday afternoon cycle.
But mostly just the gym. You
Mostly
focus on
the gym.
5
And then
times.
I'll do like a kickboxing workout, like sometimes with a friend, just to mix things up a bit, keep it interesting.
Okay. And comparing that to a training for a show, how does it compare? Obviously, it's more intensive.
Yeah, so there's a lifestyle and then there's a show training. So show training would be an hour a day of weights, and then sometimes an hour of a stepper at a certain heart rate, not holding the step at all for a full hour. I just one coach made me do lunges for an hour for cardio, like in the park.
Hour lunges.
Hour lunges. You put your music in and you
What?
lunge for an hour. And I did it. Like I was like, okay, he says I must do it, and so I did it. And
Not going to fit in your pants after that.
yeah, and then every week your diet will change, your calories will change.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the
Yeah.
food. Okay. Quickly, just explain to everyone, what is a WBFF?
So it's the World Beauty Fitness Federation. And I had a very good friend in the fitness industry, Jaco de Bruin.
Follow him as well.
Yeah, he's a lot of the reasons I've achieved things in the fitness industry is because of him. He's the type of person that gives from the heart, just expecting nothing in return. And he had a show, the first South African show. It was very big overseas. And then he said, come join my show. And then I even joined his team. And I remember there was like 70 girls on that stage. And then I didn't expect it. I was just happy to be in the show. And then I got my pro card. And then I had 3 weeks to go to Vegas.
Okay, but let's stop there. What is a pro card?
So it's you can win a show, and then you can become a pro, and that's when you can compete in the pro federation overseas, and that's where someone has won a show in another country.
Okay.
And then you compete against them.
So it's the best of the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you went to Las Vegas for that?
Yeah, and I had 3 weeks to
Between the shows?
Between this World Championships and the show. And I never had the money at that stage. I was saving up to go for Thailand for 3 years. and we were not close at all.
Because in Vegas is much more expensive than Thailand.
So I put in the Clockstop record. I put a raffle for gym supplements and said, I think it was like, please donate 30 Rand. And then I think I've still got that of it. And please help me get to Vegas. And people put in like 5 grand, 10 grand, and they just said, good luck. And I actually met a guy the other day that told me, remember when you went to Vegas? I was the 10 grand.
What?
And it's a guy named Martin. He's from Clarksville. He owns VX Auto.
Oh, yeah.
I met him the other day and he's like, it was me.
What?
I was like, I've been wanting to thank you all these years. Yeah, because I didn't have the money to go, but somehow it came together and then, went to Vegas.
Okay, and then what happened?
Then I made top 10.
What?
Yeah, and when I got there, I was with my friend Michelle Van Roy, and she'd got her pro card with me in that same show, in a different category. And when we got there, we realized we are out of our league in America because we like sewed our own bikinis. And there it's just, who has also money, and it's like the photographers, the tan was like 5,000 Rand for tan. And she had won at that stage every single bikini competition in our country for like years. And we got there, we only made top 10. And I'll never forget backstage, we were like, well, let's just eat brownies. And then we just started eating brownies because we just realized, okay, we need to up our game. And then after that, I got an overseas coach. And I said, I want to get to that level. What do I need to do? And then I went back, and then I didn't want to go to Vegas again after that because I realized what I preferred more was traveling with the fitness shows. So I waited until there was a country I hadn't been to. So the last one I did was Bahamas. Yeah, and I thought, when will I ever go to Bahamas again? So I decided I'm just going to go there. And I did that one.
If you win that show, what's your
There's
title?
actually-
That's the top. That's like
It's actually just awesome for social media, I guess. But there's not like prize money in that federation. There's not like a medal, but it's just like it's an achievement. Like if you win the WBFF in fitness, it's like
the Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that goal. But for me, it's more the experience. I'm not really about being the winner. It's experience or bettering the last time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laura, let's talk about the diet. What is your diet like at the moment? We're going to compare it to doing it for the show, but what's your diet now?
So I'm very...
Your Instagram is full of, it looks like
Food.
everything is sweet and it makes you fat, but obviously it doesn't make you fat. So
it's very simple at the moment, but I like to keep things simple. I've been that person that would be so strict about it, measure every calorie, a little bit obsessive, and it felt unhealthy to me. So for a fitness show, you have to be like that. You can't not be like that. But for a lifestyle diet, I like to keep it very simple. So I use a company called Munched. They deliver food like every 2 days. In 2 days, it's like frozen meals. So I'll have 2 of those meals a day. In the morning, I'll make like pancakes or healthy oats or a really delicious looking breakfast. So
looks nice.
Like waffles, and it's all healthy stuff. It tastes amazing. And then I'll have like pineapple and cashew nuts in the day. So it's like really tasty food, and the Munch meals taste amazing. So it's not like broccoli and chicken and fish, and I just can't eat food like that.
Not anymore.
Yeah, in the beginning, that's what was introduced to me. You eat fish and pineapple. And over the years, I was like, I refuse to do this. There must be a different way. So that overseas coach I had, he taught me about macros and food, and I started playing with recipes and seeing that you can actually make healthy food taste nice. So I would make like a healthy cheesecake. Even if I'm competing, I would make a cheesecake. I would make waffles. I would make it fun for myself.
Calories, how much calories usually now? You count it?
It depends what your goals are. So I've got a photo shoot in 3 weeks, and now I'm going to just do a little bit of extra cardio. But calories...
So you still like, let's say you do like a photo shoot in 3 weeks, you still diet for that?
I will just tighten it up a little bit. So drop maybe a few of my carbs and do a little bit more cardio, and then you're fine.
But you don't do like a way out diet, like a keto diet or nothing?
I've done that in the beginning.
Okay.
And then I've realized originally in bodybuilding, there was a lot of uneducation in terms of diet, where over time people became more educated, and you don't need to eat like that. You don't even do these extreme diets leading up to a show. My diet was always pretty healthy. It had like avo and nuts, and it was very well balanced. You would just train really, really hard, and the last 3 weeks lower your calories a bit, but it's not this extreme unhealthy diet. That's what I didn't want to do in bodybuilding, extreme unhealthy to the point where your body takes damage from it. It's not something that didn't attract me. Where WBFF was this glamorous fitness show. It was beautiful. It was healthy looking bodies. I didn't really like the whole extreme bodybuilding part of it.
Okay.
And that's something I always wanted to promote.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, I sent you a question beforehand and we Googled it together. It's called PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. Before we're going to talk about that, because that's one of the stuff I really wanted to talk with you about, there's no judgment from my side. I like endurance types of events. So if you look at something like the Tour de France, there's no way you can do the Tour de France without performance enhancing drugs. It's impossible. It's 3 weeks of you can't consume the amount of calories that you burn in that day, and you do it for 21 days. It's impossible. And they go into the Tour de France with like 7% fat. So it's impossible. There must be stuff. So I don't blame like a Lance Armstrong or whatever. But he said it makes you 10% better. And in his sport, you needed that 10% to be the best. So I'm not taking away anything of the hard work, because it's still a hell of a lot of hard work to get to that level. I mean, to get on that stage,
I agree.
It's so much hard work. But is the PEDs a factor, and how big a role does it play? Competing. I mean, obviously now you're much more healthier, you look more healthier. That it's an extreme state that you're in. But does it play a massive role?
In the fitness industry, competitions, 100%, and for men, 100%. For me, I had a different approach. Like, I also do not judge. Like, I feel if you want to enter a competition, especially as a guy, it's a competition, and then you've got to decide: are you going to be happy with maybe not being at the top if you don't take it, or are you willing to sacrifice your health for a competition? How much does it mean to you? Then I say go for it. It depends. I don't judge, but as a guy, if you 1 out of 20 guys and everybody's doing it, you'll feel so insecure. The peer pressure to do it. I think it has its place in the fitness industry, and it's become like acceptable as everybody does it. They don't even test for it. But with me, I didn't want to go to another category. That's why I always did the bikini category. Okay,
explain to us that. Why is that if you go on hard?
There's no way you can be in the fitness category where like you have those blocks and big muscles unless you're on something. And I didn't want to. My second South African coach, Louise van der Nat, she won the world champs in Vegas, and she was amazing. And she actually committed suicide a few years ago. And she said to me, Laura, she was really big, like massive, but she looked incredible. And she said to me, stay small and tight, because it's not commercial to do that. Like, it gets attention, but if you want to do like cover,
not sustainable,
cover model, that kind of stuff, stay small and tight. So that was always like, she didn't even give me a fat burner when I got my pro card. Not even a fat burner. It was pure diet and training and hard work. But if you're a guy and you want to compete, there's just no ways. You're going to have to take something.
Yeah, I mean, for me as well, I've trained. when we drove here today, I have a gym membership here at Planet. What is this called?
Planet Fitness,
no,
Virgin Active.
No, the one here on the street corner.
Fitness
Zone. I still have, where I'm 12 years old on that card. I still have, I think I'm still paying the membership.
I'm also still paying it. I haven't been in yet.
I don't know how it looks inside. But I mean, I've been training from that. And Matrika was like 103 kilograms with 500% fat. And I've been 77 kilograms with 7% fat. But never in my life have I looked like I can be on it's not that, and it must be the
100%.
Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah.
It's like rugby. Some of the guys, they won't even get a contract unless they're actually on, because you got to go up a level. So it just depends on what you need. You can't compete. If you want to do it, you're going to have to do it. But luckily for girls, there's other options. And I think it's nice for girls to be beautiful and feminine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, so any advice for people? Obviously, we're going to talk about your work schedule. Any advice for people that has a hectic work schedule, but also listens to this and wants to train and be more healthy?
I think it's about priorities. So if something is important to you, you'll make time. And there will always be an excuse that you will tell yourself not to do something. But if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. So it doesn't matter if you've got, I know some women who are business owners, they have kids, they have good, healthy marriages, they look great, they make time because they prioritize. So people always say, yeah, but this and that and this. And then I'm like, okay, but it's not your priority. If something's important to you, you'll put all your energy in it to make it happen. That's my belief. So if you want to do it, you got to structure your day. Make sure you've got distractions away. Make sure you're limiting social media. You're limiting anything that's not leading you to your goal.
What motivates you still to do fitness? And I want to talk to you about motivation versus discipline, maybe, because not always are we motivated. But if it's a discipline.
Yeah, I don't think there's such a thing as motivation. I think you have this idea of something you want, and when you start, unless you're disciplined, you lose it immediately. You just give up. Discipline is motivation. Like I always say, the belief comes after the work. So you have this idea, and then you don't even know if you can actually do it. And then you just start doing it and working towards and putting and then one day you're there and you're like, you believe in it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but motivation it's just an idea. Discipline is what makes it happen, and discipline is actually motivation. And once you've reaped rewards from that, you don't give up. You don't allow yourself to give up.
Yeah, you tasted it.
Once you've tasted it, you understand what that means, working for something, then you will have your days. I've had my times where I go off track and allow emotions to stop me and allow bad days, and I give up, but I'll always come back.
Laura, I want to read you a quote. I think this is one thing I want to bring into the podcast. I'm searching for a quote that describes the person I'm doing the interview with. And this quote I got from a guy. He's a Indian investor called Naval. I can't pronounce his surname. I think it's Narari or Rawari. He said, there's 3 things in life you must strive to get right: a calm mind, a fit or healthy body, and a happy home. And if I look at your career and your social media presence, I think you strive for that, to first sort out your inner self, to get your mind right. Obviously, there's a fit body, and that leads to the people that's involved in your life, to let them, to be an example or a light to them. So that's the quote that I got from you.
That makes me feel so good. Especially, we all always say, okay, so it's a grace, and everybody's got stuff and that stresses them on problems, and no one's problems is bigger than the other person. But eventually you just need to find yourself and focus on goals. That's what I always do. When things are going haywire and I'm feeling stressed, I set myself goals. And I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to focus on? Because that makes you happy. You have a purpose and something to bring your mind to.
For me as well, I think if I get more done if I have more stuff to do. That
makes sense.
That's always, if I have I know I need to train. I did a couple of Ironman. So if I know I need to train 2 times a day, I can't waste time with anything else. I still need to focus on the family. I still need to focus on the business. But you need, then you prioritize everything.
100%. That is how you get things done. I always think people have a lot of time for drama and skinner because they don't have enough to do.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like when I'm hearing a lot of stories, I'm always in my own happy bubble because I'm so busy. I don't even have time to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
So I just push it away.
No, 100%. Laura, okay, on to Go Big Media.
Yes.
Where did the idea and the business start?
Okay, so I was working at, my first job was Truworths. And I was studying fashion buying through UNISA. And I was like, I'm going to work my way up. And I think I earned like 800 Rand a month. And I was like a casual worker. And then
what did you do at Truworths?
I was like on the till.
Oh, everything.
Everything, packing the clothes. Okay. I still can't fold my clothes neatly, but I did that at Truworths. It was my job. And then I worked at a law firm, and that was an interesting story. So I didn't have a car. And I saw in the newspaper that you can be a typist at a law firm. And then I was like, well, I got the typing prize in school. I could do this. And then I actually caught a taxi, those golden taxiway places. I don't know if you know them. I phoned them and I was like, I need to get to Truworths. And I had a clothing account, which was ridiculous because I only earned 800 Rand a month, but they gave me a clothing account, which is not good. And I bought an outfit for the interview. And then I walked to the law firm just down the road, did the interview, and I think it was 2,000 Rand. I was like, great, better than 800 Rand. And then I actually took the clothes back because I couldn't afford them. And that was my first experience with work. And then I still had this I want to own a business. And I worked there for 2 years. And I opened up a packaging shop called Packmore in Waffeldorn. And it is a company in Joburg I saw called Boxman. So it's like moving boxes and bubble wrap and things like that. And now you can get bubble wrap at all the shops, but at that time you couldn't get bubble wrap. And I used to sell moving boxes and stuff. And I for a year did that business, and I just couldn't make profit. And I actually lied to the place that sold me the boxes in Joburg. I said to them, I'm going to order 10,000 units per size, but I only ordered 50. But they gave me those prices, and they would deliver. And eventually they phoned me and they're like, we can't afford to send a truck for such little units. You're going to have to come fetch. And then at that time I had a City Golf. So I used to sell the boxes out every 3 days and then drive to Joburg, stay by my mom, sleep over, go to the CBD in the morning and pack my little City Golf with boxes. Over my head, there were little boxes. I'll never forget it. And then I would drive back, sell them for 3 days. And then, but the petrol and my rent and my telephone and everything was so much. I was just breaking even all the time. And then my business partner, Fred, said, come and join me. Because I was studying at that time financial management. I'm like, okay, I'll do your books for you. And I remember that Dad decided, I cried so much that failure, that I can't keep this business going. And I cried and cried and cried. But I started with him, and when I did his books, I realized, oh no, he said he'll pay me the same salary I was earning at the law firm. And when I did his books, I was like, he can't afford me. I can't even afford this. But we started in a little flat. It was in Robin Ridge. We had one bedroom was his office, one bedroom was mine, and that was our little business. And he was actually doing graphic design, and one of the projects he saw was to put an ad on a wall. So he went and did this photo. It was there by Speedy Car Sales. He did he said like this concept of putting an ad up there, and then he's like, this could be a cool idea, like to actually go speak to the guy and we sell this ad. And then you got this contract with him, and we had to pay 5,000 Rand a month, even if the ad was empty, for each side. And there were 3 ads on the wall. And that was our first landlord contract. And he started putting up billboards, and I was doing the finance. And then he's like, then the one day he said to me, you need to go see this client. And then I remember saying to him, well, if it's a stuff up, it's not my fault, because I can't do sales. I can't speak to people. I'm very shy. I can't do this. He's like, just go, it'll be fine. And then I went, and yet this guy actually bought the billboard. And then he said to me, okay, I'm going to give you a basic salary, and then you're going to earn commission. And then we're going to grow your commission like this. I was like, I'm never going to earn that money, whatever. So I did the books, and then I started doing sales in the business. He would put up the structures. And over the years, like, I don't know how we did it, but there were times we didn't have print money for the printer ink. And some of those clients on that wall with the first landlord went bankrupt, like was Micah went bankrupt. They couldn't pay us. We couldn't pay the landlord. It was hectic times. I'll never forget it. And eventually, I remember I cold called this one lady in Univision. And I've always said to Darby, you're the reason we have become a success. It was in the building Senvest, Univision, like insurance company. And I said, can I have a meeting? And we went there, and they said, yeah, we would run 5 billboards in like Bultfontein, Bothaville, Lichtenburg, Freiburg, and they wanted it double-sided, and they will pay upfront rental for the year. And at that stage, it was like,
Cash flow.
We've made it. We've made it. Like, that is amazing. And 2 of those billboards during that contract, like, blew over, because we didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't have, you need an engineer and all these things. But that was the one client that like put us on the map. I'll never forget it. And I've often said to Darby, like, I owe you so much for believing in us. But over the years, Fred never, my business partner, Fred never increased my basic. It was just commission. And one day he said to me, I can't afford the commission anymore. I'll give you shares. Help me build this business. And I was like, done deal. Yeah. And then we started employing more people, which was a whole nother thing. A whole nother
We're going to talk about that.
But yeah, that was like the story, and it's actually a beautiful story. We built the business from air and struggle, and literally having no choice, and just belief that you will someday make it.
Awesome. Laura, what does Go Big Media do?
So the easy way to say is we do outdoor advertising, and we sell advertising on billboards. But I like to say we help businesses reach an audience that you wouldn't really be able to reach unless they were driving on the road. So we help businesses grow by giving you an audience.
Okay. But why a marketing business? That's the first question. And why do you think it's important for businesses to do marketing?
The first question is
why a marketing business? Why do you think marketing is important for a business?
Well, it's the same as having a business without a sign on your shop. People don't know about you. They don't know where to find you. And what I find with outdoor advertising, it's more brand awareness. So you always think of can you tell me what's your top 3 toothbrush brands?
No idea.
Toothpaste brands. Let's say toothpaste
No
brands.
idea. I know the one I use.
Which is that?
Sensodyne.
Sensodyne. And then there's Colgate and Aquafresh. And the reason they come to you first, even though there's Mentodent, P and 10 other thousand brands, is because you've seen it somewhere. You've seen it repetitively somewhere. The same as the top 3 food franchises is KFC, McDonald's. I don't know who's next, but they spend the most on outdoor advertising in the country because they give the impression they are the leaders in the industry just by your brand being out there. And it's that repetitive going to someone's subconscious. We've had, I don't know if you ever saw the Arnold Motors.
Yeah. Bigger than
Yeah, we came up with that slogan for them. That ad has been done for, I think, 6 years now. People still remember it because of that impact. It's just it changes the landscape of everybody's driving every single day. They see something different.
That's awesome. What trends do you see in your business? What's the future for?
So we're definitely moving into digital advertising.
I saw on your street corner where your offices are.
So I've been to a few like outdoor conventions to see what is the future of outdoor advertising. I'm going to one in Cape Town in March, and that's purely about the digital landscape. But there'll always be a place for static. People always say, what's better? And I always say your static, which is as I don't move, can be directional. Then you're not sharing the space with somebody else. It's exclusive. But digital can link to your Facebook. You can make it interactive. You can change it as many times as you want. But I definitely think digital in our business and the plan we have for growth, we're planning on putting up 10 screens throughout the country. We can plug into a national campaign instantly. And it speeds up the marketing so much more.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, how does the contract work to put up like a billboard?
So
do you have to speak to the local municipalities, or how does the structure work?
Yeah, so we call it a landlord. So you'll either have a contract with the municipality or a private landlord where you'll put the structure on their land and then you give them a fee.
Okay, all right. Let's quickly talk about staff. I saw a post a couple of days or weeks ago, and you guys posted like this person worked 5 years or whatever.
Yeah, it was our work anniversaries.
Yeah, this staff is very difficult to manage. And you said it earlier, it's a different ballgame when you employ people.
Yeah.
But how do you keep people working for you for 5 or that I saw 10 years? 10 years.
10 years. I don't like to have a high staff turnover because then it feels like I failed. Because I always, I once read this quote which annoys me so much. You don't get bad people, you get bad managers. And then I'm always trying to keep my side clean. I don't know, like someone fits in your company or they don't. They fit in your vibe, in your culture. And you need to know what your culture is. You need to know what your values are. Everybody needs to know what your goal is and believe in that goal. And you've got to set that goal, but you've got to make sure that they're a part of the goal. If it's just a goal, the company's goal and they're not a part of it, why would they care? So we try to make sure that each person grows in the company as well. And Lazelle, that was her 10-year work anniversary. She started in our business as the receptionist, as the production manager. Sometimes she did sales for me. And like the stuff she's been through with our learning process in the business, I don't know why she's still there. And she's seen everybody come and go. She's done everybody's job, but she still believes in it because we believed in her and she believed in us. And I absolutely love taking someone who has so much potential that doesn't see it. Because I see myself in that person sometimes. And then I'm like, hey, here's an opportunity. If you do this and this and this, you can achieve this. And it's amazing to watch people grow. I get a thrill out of it.
100%. We have a practice where I'm stepping into an older practice where my father is busy. But I mean, the people that still works for him, there's like 11 people that has more than 20 years experience or is working for him for 20 years. And I think when I look at it and I see that, it says a lot about the leader, because they won't, I mean, he doesn't pay them the most of that they can get anyway. But the issue is that it must be something more than just money.
Yeah.
It must be the culture or the way he treats them, that or the opportunities he offers you to self-grow or to grow yourself. So I think that speaks a lot about a company that has people that works 10 years or whatever with them.
You've got to know what people's currency is. Is it time with their family? Is it money? And each person is different. Some people like to be recognized in front of the whole group. Some people don't want to be recognized. They want you personally to say, hey, I'm really proud of you. And you forget that people need that. And sometimes people will leave a job just because they don't have the title manager, even though they maybe are the manager, but because no one in the company knows it, they will leave. So you've got to try. It's really hard because you're busy and you're trying to achieve stuff. And with advertising, there's a deadline every day, constant. We're all stressed out. But you've also got to make time to check on each person. Are they okay? Are they reaching goals? So we'll normally start a goals session in the beginning of the year, and each person, I know what their goals are. And I know, and then I'll check in with them. How far are we from those goals? And then they'll tell me, especially the sales team, I'm like, how much do you want to earn this? And they'll be like, so I'm like, are you joking? That's ridiculous. Double it. We're going to do double. Okay, but that's going to be hard. I'm like, we're going to do it.
Yeah. That's awesome. What kind of leader are you? Are you the one that sits with everyone and motivates them, or are you strict?
I'm I think Fred will be the visionary, and I'm the people person. So I keep everyone together. I motivate people. I'm mostly in charge of the finance and the sales team, but when there's drama, I'll sort out the drama. And client relationships and all the clients, I know every single client, they know me. I don't know, I think I'm like the glue sometimes. Yeah.
The business in 10 to 5 to 10 years, where do you see the business? What are your goals?
So right now we've got the digital, which we're growing into 10 screens. After that, we haven't done that yet, but that we're just focusing on that goal. We have a certain turnover that we wanted to achieve, and we got like a little sign, and we've put it up all around the office. So every day when you walk past, everybody's seeing that goal. Everybody knows what we're chasing.
That's awesome. You need to tell your team what the goal is.
Yeah, and they need to buy into it. I know what do they get if they achieve it. The day we did the work anniversaries, we actually sent Lizelle to Mauritius, and Fred and I were doing speeches for each person, and we got so emotional talking about it because people swap their life or their time for your business, and that's a huge responsibility to know that. Yeah,
that's awesome. No, 100%. I want to ask you the last question that I thought about. Also, the screens that you guys want to put up, what is that? Is that like the one that you have at your office?
Yeah, so that one we actually bought from somebody else. It's a funny story. They were going to put up a screen in Clarksville, and then someone said to me, don't you rather want to buy? I'm like, 100% I don't want another screen in Clarksville.
I want to buy the competition out.
And it's a horrible screen. We hate it. It's not our quality. And then we thought, let's just put it up in the office. It'll be a cool sign for the office. We could do ads. And then we actually got our team that does all our screens, and they said, no, we can make it a little bit better. And actually it looks cool now. It's not so bad. But it's not we have other screens like in Potchefstroom and Kimberley and Mafeking we import, and they are like a TV. It's pretty cool.
Laura, okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is your passion for flying.
Yeah.
Why?
So I'm a person I like to have goals and things to achieve, and I just have this thing that niggles, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and then nothing stops me till I do it. So I've always wanted to be a pilot, like my whole life. Parents couldn't afford it when I was younger, so when I was 14 I was at Milner High, and then they chose 4 kids from each school, like Westphalia and Milner, to come and fly at this Young Eagles Association at the airport. And I went to the office and I said, please choose me. I really want to do this. And then they chose me. And it was actually Fred's dad that flew me in my very first plane when I was 14, but I never knew it till many years later. And then I just always had that dream. And then I watched Top Gear a year ago. And then I was like, that Sunday night, I'm signing up. So then I Googled and I entered, and it was actually pretty amazing. The flight school phoned me and they said, would I not be willing to swap billboards for the course? And I'm like, I'm willing to pay, but if that's what you would like to do, I'd love to do that. And so I actually haven't paid a cent. I still would pay a cent, but they wanted to swap the advertising. And I felt so guilty about it. I gave them like way more ads than they've swapped just because
It's a bargain for them.
I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. I see you like when you go like to class
Yeah.
in your lunch hour.
So they're very busy. They've got the Potch, Grace, and Clarkstorp School, and the lecturers drive between, and they've got to fit everybody's hours in based on weather. So whenever they could fit me in, it's a 2-hour lecture, then I'll quickly go. But it's so stressful to take 2 hours out of your work day. So, but I do it. And then I go there, quickly do the lecture, come back, work, and then at night I must study. But I have one more exam, which will be in 3 weeks, and then I start doing my hours, and that'll be early mornings before work.
So the process for that is you finish with the practice, the studying, and then how long do you need to fly?
You can do them together, but I chose to do the theory first because I know I'm working and studying and trying to jump. I don't know if I could do both, so I said, okay, I'll do all the exams and then flying separate. But it's like a year, but you can do it if you're a full-time student, like 6 months or so. But I just had to balance it all.
What is this passion of yours? Where is it going? Where do you see it going? Are you going to be a pilot for Kalula or whatever?
No, that was never the goal. I actually just want to fly a plane. I know it sounds ridiculous to do, but like I want to know what that feels like, and I want to do my commercial as well. We wanted to buy a plane for the business so that, because a lot of our clients are in Katu, Portsmouthsburg, it's far, so then that would also help. But I know it's not really an investment unless you do it in a group where there's a lot of other businesses that maybe also travel a lot. Then it makes it worthwhile. But for now, I just want to be a pilot, just for fun.
100%. I want to quickly. The question is, how do you manage your work-life balance? But I don't think you have a work-life balance, or do you?
No. I did. I must say, I've been building the business. There was no option but to be in the red zone. Like I remember a time I was working Monday till Sunday, 11 at night, like every single day. And if someone resigned or left, I would do their job. And you just have no other option. Otherwise, you lose everything. So I've learned over the years that that tomorrow is another day. Because I'm a type like, I must get everything done today. So then I learned, okay, write down what you got to do, highlight the most important that cost you money, and someone maybe that wants to meet with you in the business, choose 2 people. That's the most important, and you do nothing else except those. And then I'll jump for only an hour. I try and keep a structure. It's not always possible because usually a plan you'll have and it goes completely not what you planned, but you got to stay calm and just refocus. But yeah, I like to be busy. I don't like to stagnate, and I get frustrated if I'm not busy. I like to always be achieving something, but I also have friends and I enjoy abroad and I enjoy spending time with people. But as long as I've always busy achieving something, I don't mind.
Okay. What's up with the dogs?
So I went to Cape Town like 5 years ago, and then I was in a restaurant. There was a Frenchie there, and I was like, what kind of dog is this? This is so cute. So then when we built the office, I was like, I'm going to get dogs because I don't want to leave them at home. I think it's cool because I'm working a lot and I'm busy. You can't leave them alone. So it's like, if we build the office, then I'm taking my dogs to the office. So I literally take them to the office every single day with me. And it's so nice because people play the ball with him. When customers come, they love it. And we made them like our mascots because people know the dogs.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the billboards now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was just a campaign that we did and people liked it. So.
And also on the billboards, if you don't have any, let's say this month that you don't have any advertising, you can advertise there. It's a hell of a business model for you guys.
Yeah, so that's actually how we built. That's why I always talk. That's how we built our company with our own products. It was the only marketing we could do and afford was our own products, and that's how people know us. And our business changed when we put Go Big Media, the logo, on the structures, because we never really thought of doing that in the beginning, and we just put our name there. Our turnover changed instantly because people saw it, inquiries. So we used our own product we sell to build our own business
and your own dogs.
And my own dog. Yeah, I don't know why that became a thing, but
it's an awesome concept. Yeah, I like it a lot.
It wasn't intended, it just happened.
No, it's awesome. We're almost done. What advice? Obviously, you started out of nothing, and it's actually, I haven't known you before this, but it's an amazing story. It's so inspirational. You started with nothing to build a massive business. What advice do you have for people that wants to start their own business?
Yeah, just start. It's scary, but that excitement you have in the beginning, I always see people when they're like, I want to start this. They're so excited. They have all these ideas. My first packaging business, I would say, do your research, do your numbers, have someone help you with a business plan, and talk to other business owners. Ask them about tax and VAT. And that's something we did when we were growing. We would learn from other outdoor companies. What are they doing? Find network, and people love to help other people. So especially someone starting a business, ask them advice. Ask them, how do you hire somebody? Because business is not something that you learn or you can study for. It's something that you learn with mistakes.
You need to do it.
Yeah, and you just need to start. And I have something called the do something principle. So it's something, maybe it's a project you want to start, and you procrastinate so much because you actually don't know what you're doing with fear, and then you never end up starting. So then I say the do something principle. Just start, because you start and you start figuring it out, and before you know it, you're halfway there and you figured it out.
It's awesome. Thank you so much. Last question is from the previous guest. The previous guest asked, what is the biggest mistake you made in your life up to now? And looking back at it, what could have you done, if any, to prevent it?
Sure. I don't like to look at, I know it sounds like a cliche answer, but I wouldn't be the person I am today if I hadn't made mistakes. And I'm grateful for every single mistake, because I can't run a team and tell them, hey, you're going to go wrong here, or give them advice or motivate them unless I've made the same mistakes. And I always tell them, I'm telling you now, don't do this because I've made this mistake. And it took so much longer to recover from it when you have someone you can warn them now and say, don't do that, and then things build up faster. So I don't think anything's achieved unless you've learned the lesson, you've failed. I always like to say I chase failure. And the sales team always say, chase the no's. Pick up the phone and chase the no's, because the next one's a yes. So you got to chase mistakes. Make the stupid cold call. You sound like an idiot. It's a funny story about you. There was a new sales rep, and she cold called you.
What?
She was like, she said the most silliest things. I burst out laughing.
I can't remember it.
So you were phoning her, you were watching our Go Big Media stories, and then she phoned you for a meeting, and she said to you, I see that you watch our stories on Instagram, and would you like to meet? I was so embarrassed. I was like, did she really just say that? My words were but you still said yes for a meeting. But then you reschedule. But I said, it doesn't matter. You got a yes. Whether you messed it up, it was a stuff up. I was like, just never say that again. Yeah.
And what's the worst that can happen?
People
Someone
just say no. I always say we're the most rejected people ever, but that's okay, because you're going to try again and it motivates you. So I don't say mistakes, I say chase the mistakes, because that's the only time you learn in life.
Laura, I don't think you know what motivation this was for me. So I want to thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I just sent you a message and you just said yes. You haven't asked any questions on any questions that I'm going to ask you. You just picked up there. a half an hour ago, half an hour before this time, I said to Ricket, listen, I don't even know if she's going to pitch. And I have no idea if she's going to pitch.
Send me a WhatsApp. Are you like
we set up.
I'm not going to cancel.
No, so thank you so much. It's been a hell of an honor for me.
I'm honored. Thank you.
And you're such inspiration, and I just want to encourage you to just keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
You're going to be massive successful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.